over the next 4 years, we'll make America into the manufacturing superpower of the world. And we'll end our reliance on China once and for all. That's already happening. We'll hire more police, increase penalties for assault on law enforcement, and we will ban deadly sanctuary cities that people don't want. We will uphold religious liberty, free speech, and the right to keep and bear arms, your Second Amendment. We'll strike down terrorists who threaten our citizens, and we will keep America out of endless, foreign, ridiculous wars. We will maintain America's unrivaled military might, and we will ensure peace through strength. And by the way, we've rebuilt our military, I told you, $2.5 trillion. We have weapons and equipment, the likes of which no country has ever seen before. We are the envy of Russia. We are the envy of China. We are the envy of everybody. There is no country that has what we have. And I will tell you, when I first came here, one of our generals, highly overrated, said to me, "Sir, we have no ammunition." That's where we started. And now we have the greatest weapons anywhere in the world, and just hope to God we never have to use them. We will end surprise medical billing, require price transparency, which is already signed January 1st, it kicks in, and further reduce the cost of prescription drugs. And I'm talking about 50, 60, 70, 80%, because of what I've done with favored nations. We're getting the lowest price, Mike. The whole world, we're going down, we're taking these nations, they pay a fraction of what we pay. I said, nope, whatever they pay, I want to pay. Why are we paying more than any other nation? We're the highest, we're going down to match the lowest. The drug companies don't love me too much, just in case you haven't heard. We will strongly protect Medicare and Social Security. We'll always protect patients with pre-existing conditions. America will land the first woman on the moon, and the United States will be the first nation to land an astronaut on Mars, and we're very close. We will stop the radical indoctrination of our students and restore patriotic education to our schools. We will teach our children to love our country, honor our history, and always respect our great American flag. And we will live by the timeless words of our national motto, "In God we trust." For years you had a president who apologized for America. Now you have a president who is standing up for America and standing up for the great people of Pennsylvania. It's very important. So get your friends, most important election we've ever had. Get your family, get your neighbors, and get out and vote. You got to get out and vote like you never voted before. Places that we won, like Erie, places that we won, you got to get out and vote. Because from Erie to Easton, from Pittsburgh to Harrisburg, and from Allentown to right here in Johnstown, we stand on the shoulders of Pennsylvania patriots who gave their blood, sweat, and tears for this beloved nation. This is the state where our founding fathers declared American independence. Think of what you have in Pennsylvania. No, think, who can say that? This is it, what you've done here, what the history of this incredible place, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Think of what you've done. It's where the Army weathered its brutal winter at Valley Forge, and General George Washington, don't worry, his statues are not coming down. Okay. Led his men on a daring mission across the Delaware, and where our nation was saved by the heroes of Gettysburg. This is the place where generations of tough, strong Pennsylvania workers mined the coal, worked the railroads, and forged the steel that made America into the greatest and most powerful nation in the history of the world. And you have seen nothing yet. You wait till you see what we're doing. Wait till you see what we're doing. We are making our country greater than ever before. Proud citizens like you help build this country, and together we are taking back our country. We are returning power to you, the American people. With your help, your devotion, and your drive, we are going to keep on working. We are going to keep on fighting. And we are going to keep on winning, winning, winning. And when your great congressmen to come to see me, right? This great, what a group of warriors. I don't know with them. I'm not sure I can handle that group. But when they come in to see me in the Oval Office, they say, Mr. President, Pennsylvania's not used to winning this much. We got to slow it down a little bit. And I'll say, Mike, I'm sorry, Mike. You tell the rest of them, Mike, we're not going to slow it down at all. Pennsylvania wants to win more than anybody in this country wants to win. Pennsylvania is going to win. We're never going to stop. We're going to keep on winning. We're going to win so much, you're going to love every moment of it, all right? Hey, you know what? You lost long enough, I can tell you that. Many years where your factories and your plants left because we had stupid leadership. Don't kid yourself. You lost for a long time. And now you're winning, and you're winning like never before. Open it up, Governor. Open it up. Because we're one movement, one family, one people, and one glorious nation under God. And together with the incredible people of Pennsylvania, we have made America wealthy again. We have made America strong again. We have made America proud again. And we will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you very much, Pennsylvania. Thank you. Get out and vote.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the first official Onslaught Patriot Hour, although there were technically two other Onslaught Patriot Hours, one the other night and one back in like June. Finally getting a little more comfortable with streaming, and I thought this would be cool to do a Wednesday night show, 8 to 9 every week. I was thinking about maybe 7 to 8, but I wound up doing with 8 to 9. Let me know what you think, but I'm probably going to stay with the 8 to 9 anyway. I see a lot of familiar faces in the chat. Quatty SNY, I don't know how to say that. Boo Boo Jones. I thought I saw a handsome Sean in there, and just a whole others, man. Good to see everybody tonight. Mother Station. We're going to have a freaking good time, I would imagine. Well, they're going to go over a whole bunch of stuff because, my God, a lot of stuff is happening. I'm sure you guys have heard a lot of it, but we'll go over it again real quick. But I'm Brad Clodro Getz, and you're watching the Onslaught Patriot Hour. All right. So, like I said, a lot of things going on this last week and last couple days. I'm going to try and get to as much of it as I can in the first hour. But just to start here, one of the highlights I would say with the Amy Coney Barrett confirmation hearings is, first of all, she is awesome. I just got to say, she is clearly brilliant. And the fact that they're going after her so nasty should just show people that it doesn't matter. It's a game to them. Because you would think, well, both sides work for the same country. If one side has a great candidate across the board for anything, both sides should be good. I mean, are we that far divided? But the answer is yes, because if they're attacking her, they will attack anyone. But I thought this was freaking great.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Senator Cornyn.
You know, most of us have multiple notebooks and notes and books and things like that in front of us. Can you hold up what you've been referring to in answering our questions? Is there anything on it?
That letterhead that says United States Senate.
That's impressive.
That is impressive. It's freaking great. I saw someone post something earlier today, Mark Twain quote that says, "If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything." which is freaking so true. You could really take the stress off, just be yourself, and she's been very truthful, and she's been really crushing it. Here was another great answer that I thought that she gave to a question.
So I think what I would like to say in response to that question is that, look,
The question was, how does it feel to be nominated to the Supreme Court of the United States?
I've made distinct choices. I've decided to pursue a career and have a large family. I have a multiracial family. Our faith is important to us. All of those things are true, but they are my choices. And in my personal interactions with people, I mean, I have a life brimming with people who've made different choices, and I've never tried in my personal life to impose my choices on them. And the same is true professionally. I mean, I apply the law. And Senator, I think I should say why I'm sitting in this seat in response to that question too. Why I've agreed to be here, because I don't think it's any secret to any of you or to the American people that this is a really difficult, some might say excruciating process. And Jesse and I had a very brief amount of time to make a decision with momentous consequences for our family. We knew that our lives would be combed over for any negative detail. We knew that our faith would be caricatured. We knew our family would be attacked. And so we had to decide whether those difficulties would be worth it, because what sane person would go through that if there wasn't a benefit on the other side? And the benefit, I think, is that I'm committed to the rule of law and the role of the Supreme Court in dispensing equal justice for all. And I'm not the only person who could do this job, but I was asked, and it would be difficult for anyone. So why should I say someone else should do the difficulty if the difficulty is the only reason to say no? I should serve my country. And my family's all in on that because they share my belief in the rule of law.
That is friggin' great. I really like that answer. And, you know, just because it's hard, that's the stuff that you should want to, that should get you up. You should want to take on the hard fight. Why would you want someone else to take that on? If you feel confident in yourself and your abilities, you would want to have the control over that situation. And she seems very fair, very honest, exactly what you would want in a Supreme Court nominee. And I like what she said, how she doesn't impose, the Supreme Court nominee is not there to impose your will on other people. It's to uphold the Constitution and to be fair. And I really believe she will be. And I think she's a shoo-in. I can't see, a knock on wood, of course, but I can't see how she wouldn't get in. But I've been very impressed with her, as I'm sure a lot of you have. Now, the next thing I want to go on is Bruce Orr left the DOJ today. I guess it's not really that shocking, but it did seem like he had tried to make a deal with them to stay. But it says here, of course, Mr. Orr retired after his counsel was informed that a final decision on disciplinary review being conducted by senior officials was imminent. Now, late last year, Justice Inspector General, in a withering account of the government's handling of the Russia inquiry, singled out Orr for his extensive contacts with Christopher Steele, the author of the now infamous dossier alleging salacious conduct involving Trump and Russia. And if you remember, these were released, these were obtained by Judicial Watch, where just email after email between Steele and Orr, which is a major conflict of interest. And they just go on and on. A lot of them are heavily redacted, of course. But that's a major conflict of interest because Bruce Orr's wife worked for Fusion GPS, which is the firm that hired Steele to write the dossier, which is a conflict of interest also. And if you remember, Nellie Orr, the High Hun emails, and she was emailing him and peppering different things against Trump, which is just not good because this is an outside thing with influence on the DOJ over a presidential candidate at that time. And she had sent him this email on July 6, 2016, where the article, and she flagged, suggested that if Putin wanted to conduct the ideal candidate to service his purposes, his laboratory creation would look like Donald Trump. You know, and this is overt political content flowing into the email accounts of the DOJ. It's about as nonpartisan as you can get. Or, I mean, it's partisan as you get. They're supposed to be nonpartisan. And it's just ridiculous. And now, as you see, Bruce Orr is finally stepping down. So that's pretty big stuff there. Next, in the least surprising news of the day, or I guess of yesterday's came out, Netflix CEO defends Cuties and calls the film uniquely misunderstood in the U.S. Well, if that's the case, I don't want to live in another country then. Because, well, I don't anyway, and I'm glad I live in the U.S. Because I don't want to understand something that sexualizes children. And that's what this whole society does. It just sexualizes all of us at such a young age. And, you know, you spend your 20s and your 30s just, you know, sex, or just at least thinking about it or whatever. And it's a tactic. It's a distraction. The same thing with so many other things. But that is one of the things that they push and try to sexualize kids and young adults and even you know, 20-year-olds and stuff. It's a little surprising that we're having a discussion about censoring storytelling. Dude, this isn't storytelling. Tell a good story then. Remember when you used to be able to, like, movies used to actually have a good plot and tell a story, and they didn't have to rely on all, every, like, just salacious jokes, or I think they're funny. I used to. Now it's every freaking movie. But that's not surprising. I just thought I would throw that in there because it's disgusts me, to be quite honest. Here's another thing that's quite disgusting. Well, the person in here is disgusting. James O'Keefe is a hero, as you guys have heard me say many times over. But here is just a small part of another explosive thing that James O'Keefe got. And this one's a little scary.
2020 is a political revolution. I am going to do everything morally acceptable to win. I will lie, I will cheat, I will steal, because that's morally acceptable in this political environment.
This is Chris Jacks from Our Revolution, a radical left 501c4 organization bent on creating a, quote, political revolution in the United States. Jacks represents the Democratic Party here in Colorado. And Jacks says a Biden administration will be used to advance his political objectives, or else there will be violence.
It's going to take a strategic hit against the 21% that's in charge, because that's who it is. It's killing random Nazis in the street, random bootlickers.
So they're allowed to talk about, quote, killing people in the street or killing random Nazis, which, if there were actually any Nazis, might actually be a good thing. But the fact that they've mislabeled everyone who's against their plans a Nazi is a little frightening.
You want to do some Versailles shit? You want to do some Antifa shit? You really want to change this country that way with violence?
Versailles
There's only one way to
shit.
do it.
You don't
You
even
gotta
know
get
what he's
people
talking
that are
about.
close to billionaires and start just random billionaires start turning them down. I mean, Bezos at the top of the list. I do think there needs to be a...
Well, Bezos runs the Washington Post, which pushes all the same crap that you guys keep falling for and all the stupid garbage that you all believe. So you would think you would love Bezos.
militant group, and I love Antifa for that reason. I love that there's... You always have to have somebody that's willing to hold up the flag and say, no, this is the line in the sand, and we're the ones holding that line. But they ain't stabbing motherfuckers like they used to. They don't have to, though, because they used to stab motherfuckers. See?
Yeah.
And that's all we gotta say. No. Guillotines. Motherfucker, that's all.
I don't know what unions this guy's talking about, but as a New York City construction union worker, you wouldn't last 5 seconds on the deck, you fucking bitch.
All I gotta say, option A, what I'm proposing. Option 2, slicey boys. What are your choices? Which one do you want?
Joe Biden is presumably left-wing, and he's got a functioning signing hand. And as long as there's progressive legislation that comes across his desk, I am confident we can occupy his house. We know where he'll live.
So there you think?
And yeah, he wants to veto Medicare for all. Let him veto it. He's never leaving that house again without protest.
Kind of
half of the struggle that I have ain't with Republicans. It isn't with the right wing. It's with moderates in the Democratic Party.
They underestimate.
So these are the people who are out in the streets. These are the people who get passes by the media while they go after groups that are trying to out pedophiles and stuff. And the media will attack all those groups and say they have to be censored, but they'll run cover for Antifa and groups like this. So this is just another great thing by James O'Keefe. He released a whole bunch of these. And I would suggest you guys go check it out. But this people like this is just ridiculous. Yeah. Yeah, me. I do hope POTUS sends in the National Guard after these terrorists once he's elected. But that is the end of the bad news. This is some potentially good news, although I haven't really... I wanted to make a video about this the other day. I was like, let me wait to see if anything comes out. I guess, they have to vet things. People who have these documents, I'm about to show you what they're talking about. They have to vet them, and there's different things. So I don't know. It might be a little bit before it comes out. But man, does this sound hopeful for Evergreen, the Wizards and Warlocks. Interesting. Welcome aboard, Alan.
1 week before bin Laden was killed, I was called down to the Senate Intelligence Committee to give statements and evidence. And I have quite a few tape recordings and of senior members who were aware of bin Laden's house arrest in Iran for 10 years following Tora Bora. This was arranged by John Brennan. This is why Gary Bernson was not allowed to kill Osama bin Laden in Tora Bora when he was only a few hundred yards away, because the plans had been made and set in stone by John Brennan to extradite bin Laden from Tora Bora to Iran, where he remained under house arrest for 10 years with more than 100 al-Qaeda leaders and their families.
So what you're saying is that there was no need for us to invade Afghanistan under the pretext of getting al-Qaeda if the U.S. government knew and was actually protecting his life in Iran. Is that correct?
Well, I have to say it was rogue elements of the U.S. government controlled by John Brennan, Richard Clark, Vice President Biden, quite a few people. There's a long list of people. They started with good intentions. The Safari Club was begun to fight the expansion of the USSR, but it turned into a very distorted operation over the years. And Osama bin Laden was the figurehead manifestation of this alternate CIA. And so they had to protect him in their bad judgment. And you see, one lie leads to another. Our parents always taught us this. And so when my team, we planned a program to go in and get bin Laden in Iran. We were going to catch him when he was falconry hunting, because I spent 20 years living with Arab political leaders, training their falcons and going out in these camps, hunting with them. And then I noticed there were terrorists coming into these camps, and the Royal Falconry camps are al-Qaeda's boardroom. This is where these bad guys come. There are no passport or border controls. And so we were going to go in and get bin Laden, but unfortunately, within minutes of ascending to the office of the CIA director, Leon Panetta's first act in office was to cancel the Rigor program, R-I-G-O-R, a covert CIA program to catch and kill Osama bin Laden in Iran. This was 6 months after Barack Obama was sworn in as president, and Leon Panetta threw a tantrum and canceled Rigor. This was reported by Goldman and Apuzzo, and slightly mischaracterized in the press as targeting al-Qaeda leaders all over the world, but it was focused only on Iran and bin Laden. And so when we were first ignored and then obstructed and then threatened by 8 CIA officials and warned off going into Iran to get bin Laden, we had passports, visas, everything was ready. The Revolutionary Guards were going to be our bodyguards while we were out doing bona fide scientific research as a cover for catching bin Laden alive for delivery to a tri-state area. When we were shut down by Leon Panetta and others, I began negotiating directly with Iran 6 scenario analyses for the transfer of bin Laden alive and well to coalition forces, and to have him put in a neutral zone. And Iran is on tape agreeing to this. It was all done. It took 3 years to develop this. I had meetings in the Iranian mission at the United Nations. Ambassador Mohammed Kazai organized everything. Bakhsarai was the handler. There were several handlers. Everything was ready. And then I went to Governor Bill Richardson, New Mexico Governor Bill Richardson, on December 2nd and 3rd of 2010. He agreed to be the U.S. envoy to receive bin Laden for a transfer to coalition custody. And it turned out that bin Laden had already been moved to Abbottabad, Pakistan in August of 2010. And so...
Why was he transferred there?
He was transferred there because in the 6 scenario analyses that I discussed with Iran, by harboring Osama bin Laden and 100 al-Qaeda leaders, this represents an act of war against the United States. Their nuclear facilities could be bombed and their economy obliterated. So the time moves backwards instead of forwards. And the Iranians didn't want to risk exposing their complicity with John Brennan and others to harbor. You see, John Brennan and Clinton and Biden outsourced the imprisonment of al-Qaeda leaders to Iran. We think of outsourcing as being a commercial activity. They outsourced our military responsibilities to an untrustworthy adversary, Iran. And they did that to save Iran from retaliation for harboring terrorists. And so Iran had no choice in their estimation but to accept the offer of Clinton in lieu of my offer, which was transferred to a neutral zone, because that would have endangered their economy and their nuclear program.
And
so
Clinton, forgive me, I want to ask you about this. So Clinton actually knew about this, right? She knew that they were willing to just hand him over to us.
Tapes, registered letters, everything to Clinton.
So she knew that they were ready, Iran was ready to give us bin Laden with no real struggle. And
absolutely.
So she decided to have him move to Pakistan for a trophy kill.
They moved him to Abbottabad in August of 2010. And that's our first overhead viewings of bin Laden walking in the garden. Everybody said he was crippled, but he walked down 3 flights of stairs to walk in a garden to advertise his presence, okay? It was an advertisement. Then the gas line was put on the 3rd floor of the Abbottabad complex. There in a gilded cage, awaiting his appointment with destiny. We're convinced it was bin Laden in Abbottabad, and they sent in SEAL Team 6. And Musharraf said he didn't know.
Okay, well, this goes on for a little bit. I thought I had a different part queued up. Well, I probably should have queued up 2 of them. But he says, this guy's claimed he was a falconer in the Middle East, which is a pretty revered thing in the Middle East. And he's with just different higher ups, and obviously he's talking with these big names. He claims that he has over a terabyte of information of video, audio, and documents that prove that they never killed bin Laden, that was a double that was switched out by Iran, and Iran then used that to bribe them, said that they were going to tell you, and we're going to tell the people that you didn't really kill them if you don't give us $152 billion, which is what the Iran deal was, and $2 billion in cash, and that they had given, this is allegedly, this is what he's saying, that the $2 billion in cash was actually sent back to America to keep everyone silent. So everyone involved, like Brennan and them, I would imagine, all got probably millions of dollars to keep their mouth shut. I figure $2 billion is 2,000 million. So that's 2,000 people you could give $1 million to shut them up if you would like. And it also says that when they realized it wasn't bin Laden, they threw his body over the mountains and then said, oh, we buried him at sea because you're supposed to. And apparently that's not good for Muslims to bury them like that. So, which I always thought, though, that's what they said, right? They said that was, oh, we gave him a proper burial at sea. And John Brennan's Muslim, so he should know better. And he says a lot more. He says he has all this information. He's going to give it over to them. My God, if this is true, this is a nuclear bomb of a boom right here. So, fingers crossed on this one. So far, one conversation has leaked. Here's a transcript of it, where this is an audio tape transcript of him and talking to a Congressman Weldon and another guy, Ettinger, from 2011. I'll play a quick audio from that. It's going to start here. I'll put this back up in 1 second. Talking about how they never really wanted to get bin Laden.
I know, I'm sure you do know most of the royal members of the royal family, because that's what they hunt with, is falcon, as well as bin Laden used to hunt with falcons.
Well, sir, I worked exclusively for President Sheikh Zayed, the late president of the United Arab Emirates. I lived with him and his family for 20 years. I also trained falcons for the Saudi crown prince before he became King Abdullah. Yes, falconry is the Rosetta Stone for Al-Qaeda. I met Victor Boot in Sheikh Zayed's falconry camps, and recently, between November 2004 and up until recently, my team members have met Osama bin Laden 6 times inside Iran. We have repeatedly notified the U.S. government and only received, first we were ignored, then we were obstructed, and then we were threatened.
So they had Osama. We know other people, too, have had them in the sights. So they had him, and they were ignored and finally threatened and told to shut up. Now, this is what Ettinger finally says at the end here. That's gone quiet. But he says, yeah, well, because I've told Kurt today, I said he's being protected by us. We don't really want to get him. We want him under the radar screen because he's basically made a deal that he's not going to hit us here in the United States. It was never about getting bin Laden. If you're not really looking for bin Laden and you know where he is for 10 years, then there's no reason to go into Afghanistan. Really, what was the reasoning to go into freaking Iraq? And then, then Obama kept that going. Then we went into Syria, which certain people think that might have been BS as well. That Nunn had come out and said that she was in the town that was the apparent chemical weapons attack, and they didn't know anything had happened, and she suspected that it was put on as a phony, as a stage, but it's hard to prove that. But again, it's just it's just starting to seem more and more like the entire conflict in the Middle East was BS. And, we know Vietnam, right? Vietnam, Gulf of Tonkin, it came out that it never even happened. One of the things that ramped up the first time in the Middle East, the incubator babies. Oh, they took the incubator babies out. That girl wasn't even, she was Kuwaiti, and she rehearsed that, and that turned out being fake. There's things have come out with World War II. I think it was in a military tribunal. Proved that made them admit that they knew Pearl Harbor was going to be bombed. That they actually moved out their good battleship, their new battleships, and then packed in all the old ones. Just over and over and over again. I mean, there's even things with the USS Maine where they found cables old cables from Cuba to Spain saying we don't want war, we can't go against the United States, but then they blew it up. Come on, is it the Maine that started the Spanish-American War? I believe so. Whichever boat it was, that one seems like it's fake. Just over and over again, it's the same story. And let's see, let's open up the chat here. How are we doing? See, we got a lot of people here. This is a lot of fun doing this on the fly here. I guess I don't have to worry about cropping everything and pushing everything together. And sometimes people are like, oh, why does it take a couple days for videos sometimes? And you got to see me, man. I'm like, all right, one frame here. I get myself too stupid sometimes doing them. So maybe this could be a good way to add to my regular videos. Just do a once a week here, and then everyone, you guys know I do the friggin' Friday night show on Craig's channel every Friday night, and this just be a nice little addition to my regular content. And some of you have been really liking the Edward Bernays doc that I just did, the Council on Public Relations. I highly suggest you guys go watch this if you like my more produced content, which obviously these are the ones that I really love making most of all. But of course, I put it out right after I changed my channel name, so definitely the views have suffered because of that. But I think this would be a good red pill for some of your friends, just to show how it started, how they laid the groundwork of all their methods. I mean, this guy laid out all their methods for everything, and it was right at the same time that a lot of other things happened with Woodrow Wilson and the Federal Reserve, and really the 19 teens into the 1920s and 30s seemed to be a crucial time in this history, and I would suggest go watching it. Let's see. I was going to see if I could tell how many people are watching right now, but all right, so there is obviously more going on, if you could even believe that. God, I hope this winds up being true, because this is a nuclear bomb right here to these people. If he has all this stuff, I mean, even stuff like this already that just leaked. If you can definitely verify that this is what it is from 2011, and this is really Congressman Weldon and Ettinger and everything, then that is huge. That means they never wanted to get bin Laden. Or possibly there is some source that says that he might have been a CIA agent, Tim Osman. So that's a whole nother thing. Could be a creation in a way. But moving on, we have another freaking bombshell today. By the New York Post, smoking gun email reveals how Hunter Biden introduced Ukrainian businessman to Vice President Dad. It sounds like it'd be a Fox sitcom or something. Vice President Dad. Hey guys, hey, it's Vice President Dad. All right. Let's see. The never before revealed meeting is mentioned in a message of appreciation that Vadim Posharsky, an advisor to the board of Burisma, I'm sure I just messed his name up, allegedly sent Hunter Biden on April 17th, 2015, about a year after Hunter joined the Burisma board at a reported salary of $50,000 a month. Man, dude, can one of us get one of these jobs? I'd actually do it. We'd actually do a good job for these things. Here's the email here. Dear Hunter, thanks you for inviting me to D.C. and giving opportunities to meet your father and spend some time together. We have plans for you. No, I'm just kidding. It's really an honor and a pleasure. As we spoke yesterday evening, would be great to meet for a quick coffee. What do you think? So interesting that he's thanking Hunter for giving him an opportunity to meet his dad when, according to Joe Biden, he has this to say.
My son's statement speaks for itself. I did my job. I never discussed a single thing with my son about anything having to do with Ukraine. No one has indicated I have. We've always kept everything separate. Even when my son was the Attorney General of the state of Delaware, we never discussed anything. So there'd be no potential conflict. My son made a judgment. I'm proud of the judgment he made. I'm proud of what he had to say. And let's focus on this.
Well, what do you know? Joe Biden never talked to Ukraine and never had anything to do with that, but actually he did have something to do with that, and that statement came well after April 17th, 2015. Kaboom, just another lie for Joe Biden. So while he was mixed up with the Burisma Holdings, and he did know, and they did discuss business, and this is Joe Biden was the guy who was tasked with dealing with Ukraine. So isn't it funny that while he's doing that, his son gets a cushy job right after Ukraine, right after Burisma Holdings gets in hot water? I wonder what that deal was. Yeah, put my son on the board, and then maybe we'll talk about what we can do with a little quid pro quo, which is right on camera, with him talking about it on camera in a CFR meeting, yet somehow they were able to impeach Donald Trump for mentioning the quid pro quo over quid pro quo. This is a litmus test, dude. These last 4 years is a litmus test. Anyone who can't see what's going on is just embarrassing at this point. But hey, here we go. Hunter Biden take a nice little crack nap. That's really good there. And of course, Twitter has censored links to the freaking New York Post is a revered newspaper. It's one of the two biggest newspapers in all of New York City. Their Twitter is censoring links to the Biden bombshell because Biden has nothing. How could you this is a major. How could you say they're not biased? How is this not election interference? It clearly is in a way. Well, everything they're doing is freaking election interference. But it's just incredible. The major bombshell, and this platform is totally stopping it from reaching the masses. That should be our government. These people aren't American companies. These are foreign. They're technically foreign agencies going against the United States of America. But the reason why they have to shill so hard for Joe Biden is because he's got nothing. Here, this is what Joe Biden's got. Now keep in mind the clip in the beginning of Donald Trump. Wow. Look at that. This is a Biden rally. This is a freaking Biden rally. As opposed to Trump selling out arenas everywhere he goes. What a joke that he needs. This is why this guy needs the help of every freaking social media platform. There was some cringy rap battle video that came out the other day. It was like, yo, man, I know you're shooting hoops, but like, we got to talk about this because it's important. And he's like, man, I know as a certain color of skin in America, my vote don't count. And they, oh man, it is the cringe. It just sort of, you'll cringe your face off if you even watch it. I won't play it because I'm sure it's copyrighted. But that's a good thing. Trust me, that is a good thing. And here's another one. First of all, the crowd of people screaming 4 more years are more than the 5 cars that Biden got for this thing. Look, this is who he's giving. This is who he's probably on a car dealership line. It made everyone who works there get in the friggin' one of the trucks. Look, they actually, you know what? They do all look the same. At least these two are both GMCs, I think. But, dude, come on, man. Come on, man. Joe Biden, 2020. This guy is a caricature. He's a joke. I mean, he messes up every 5 freaking seconds. This isn't a mess up. It's going to sound like a mess up, but he's telling you right now who's going to be president, and it ain't going to be him.
It's not only, this is one of the finest persons I've ever dealt with. This is a person who was ready on day one to be president of the United States of America. This is a person who has more integrity than the little dealt with. This is a person who is ready on day one to be President of the United States of America.
This is a person who's ready on day one to be President of the United States of America. I'm sorry, aren't you running to be President of the United States of America? Not Kamala Harris? You know, this guy, they'll find a reason to get him out of office, I guess, right away. And this is just, he's a vehicle to get this cackling idiot in who, you know, oh, she couldn't be there for Amy Coney Barrett today because she's freaking fake. And man, that's pretty much it. It's funny. I was lining up everything. And I'm like, dude, this is way more than an hour. But I guess I talk fast or something. But I guess I'll end it off with this. Well, I'm gonna go to 9 o'clock, but maybe I could talk to you guys in the chat a little bit for a minute after this. But Trumpy Bear actually does exist, a real Trumpy Bear. And of course, they're mad about it. Listen, if you got the gullions to put a freaking sticker on a bear, you've earned that. You've definitely earned that. This is from back in August, but holy freaking crap, dude. They put, he is got a collar, they track some of these. And someone put a Trump sticker, Trump 2020 on this thing. Real Trumpy Bear, just cited. I hope you guys enjoyed the first Onslaught Patriot Hour. Before I go in a few minutes, maybe let's see if anyone got anything to say in the chat. What'd you guys think? How'd I do? It's a lot easier. I gotta admit, it's a lot easier with Craig setting me up and going back and forth. Take it easy there, potty mouth. Go fuck yourself. How's that for the potty mouth? Man, what is this? Slow chat, listen to Brad, love this guy. Hey, man, I love you guys too. Yeah, so how's that for some booms? Man, I hope that Alan Perot guy turns out to be real. That would be freaking amazing. And he seems real. What he's talking about, I mean, he really is who he says he is. That's all real. But does he have all that information? That is going to be crazy. They said there was someone on the Next News Network, Gary Franchi, who's awesome, by the way. He had someone on, the person who had handed it over. She said, to a congressman. They said they sent it to different news outlets and everything, and she said she had saw a lot of it and that it is real and it is freaking damning. So it sounded believable. It seems very believable. I guess we're gonna have to give it a little time and we'll see. But that's amazing. Huge thing with the New York Post today, obviously blowing up Joe Biden lying about the Burisma holdings, of course, like we all knew he would anyway. But it's just major bomb after major bomb. Bruce Orr stepping down. Amy Coney Barrett's a freaking shoo-in. We got Trumpy Bears all around. I mean, this is a freaking great day. Strip Sal, I know I was just messing. I know you were just messing with me. I was just messing with you. Oh, because I said crap. I am trying to watch my language. But just because I love you guys. I know you like sharing these, but I guess you can't share it now. But, oh, man. What a MFing day. I love our country. I love our country, too. And it's pretty cool. It's getting close to the election now. I filled out my ballot, my mail-in ballot, because New Jersey, you have to mail it in. This is what they were able to do because clearly they saw my New Jersey Revolution video and got scared. But I don't know. I really think, I don't know now. We'll see what they can do with the mail-in voting. Well, you're not supposed to talk about the fact that you can mess with mail-in voting, even though there's literally 2 specific cases right from here in New Jersey where they did it. But it's 100% mail-in. So I did mine now. If you guys are in a state that's all mail-in, apparently Oregon is all mail-in anyway for years and years and years. I didn't know that until I was talking to Zoso dude 77 the other day. But if you're in a state that's mail-in voting, I would do it now. I'm going to go drop mine off tomorrow. and get it out of the way. Make sure you read everything right, do everything right. You fill in the circle, don't do an X, and read the questions. Of course, I'll never tell anyone how to vote, but I hope you would vote for Trump 2020, because we can't. How could you put a guy like Biden in friggin' office? That would be horrendous. Imagine that guy, if he didn't do nothing as vice president. There's how many videos of him falling asleep. There's a hot mic of him being like, hey, you know, it's like being the grandparent, not the grandparent. You don't do nothing. His one assignment, well, only a handful of assignments was Ukraine, and he wound up just getting this, doing corrupt dealings over and over there that just came out. But definitely, I would say, get your votes in now. And I guess on the other side, why they probably wanted to push for a lot of the early voting is because, think about, like, say you've already voted for Biden, and now there's all this stuff with Hunter comes out with him smoking crack, and how he actually did introduce these people to his father and all these shady dealings. And that's as shady as it gets. Maybe you wouldn't want to vote for Biden again, but your vote's already in. So that could be another reason. They knew a lot of this stuff. Obviously, everyone's saving their best stuff for the last couple weeks. Project Veritas, he's constantly putting out crazy stuff. But that just hit all these other stuff. Wizards and Warlocks looks like it's about to explode. Rook Castle, hand deliver it to address on ballot. I'm taking mine to Freehold. Yeah, right on, Rook. Yeah, I have a place too of mine that I'm gonna take it to and hand put it in. Yeah, I wouldn't mail that. Definitely there's drop off locations. And man, imagine if it flipped totally Jersey. Even if we don't win for Trump, I just want to see Cory Booker get voted out. I heard he was I didn't see him, but I heard he was getting all teared up again at the Amy Coney Barrett, because that's all he does. Yeah, I don't know. This guy, I don't know what New Jersey he's from, but it ain't from my neighborhood. But man, dude, the fake, and it's fake anyway. I'm making fun of it like it's real. They all put on their little act. Who the frig knows why he was crying? But New Jersey is red, and absolutely it should go red. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see if everyone remembers to send in their ballots, if everything goes good. But man, dude, this place is ready to go. You were seeing a couple of videos ago showing some different clips from New York. They were in New York again, in Manhattan again. I think it was either earlier today or yesterday, with a huge Trump flag or a huge back to blue flag. And Staten Island went red last time, but there's been huge rally in Staten Island, which looks probably more than it was. There's things out the island. My cousin told me not too long ago that he passed like 1,000-car Trump parade out there. And man, if this freaking country, if Joe Biden even gets 10 million votes, something's up. But you will see that. I did an interview with Zoso Dude 77 last week, and for those of you who don't know, he traversed the entire United States on his Harley to see. He told me that the reason why he wanted to see, because they keep saying Biden's ahead 14 points, Biden's ahead. He wanted to actually gauge the country and see. And man, you are going to want to hear what he has to say. I was cutting it up all night. Once I'm done here, I'm going to go start cutting it up some more and add some random stuff to it. And I'm going to be posting that sometime tomorrow, probably in the evening, probably like this. And it's cool. It was a fun interview, and he's got a lot to say. And spoiler alert, this country is redder than red. So it's cool. You guys are going to enjoy that. And again, Friday night, the friggin' Friday night show. I got some other things in the works. Saw a video that I scripted out maybe 2 years ago that I think the time has come. That's going to be my next big project, and I certainly will make sure I have it done before the election, because I think it will be important for the election. And of course, updates all the time. I'm going to be doing this every friggin' Wednesday. I'm going to be on Craig's channel every friggin' Friday. We got the interview with Zoso Dude coming out tomorrow. And you know, this is it, man. Last couple weeks before the election. What, let's say it's the 14th. So is that 16, 19 days? Damn, 19 days? Or wait, oh no, October is 31. 20 days? Is that what it is? So this is gonna be quite the freaking couple days. 21 days. That's about 3 weeks. And I'm pretty pumped. And things are going down the hill. And hopefully we can just red pill as many people as possible leading up to the election. I think everyone's pretty much got their mind made up already. Hopefully we can snag a couple others. Brandon McKnight, what's up, Hammer? He says he's voting on Friday. He can't wait. Quats New York says, Brad, the keck on your shirt is like a green screen. I'm looking through you. You're all the same. Yeah, guys, just trying to be transparent about things, all right? You know, transparency. You guys like Obama's administration. Remember, it was going to be the most transparent administration of all time. Oh, man. Some of the things, in hindsight, some of the things these people say is pretty freaking great. Obama administration was the least transparent administration of all time. But no, he had no scandals. By his own admission, he was scandal-free. You know, he only had Fast and Furious. And, oh, that's something. I was just re-looking back into the Fast and Furious thing the other day. And, boy, that's a really crappy one. They were selling... Let's just go right back over, huh? It's 8:48. I can't believe I ripped through all those links in freaking 30 minutes. The Fast and Furious, this is back in 2009. The U.S. government was instructing gun store owners to break the law by selling firearms to suspected criminals. And we're telling the ATF agents not to intercept smugglers. And most of them were AK-47s. Yeah, mainly AK-47s. So they want to take away all your guns, but you know, for the Mexican cartel, that's fine. They can just take it, and they're told to stand down. And then they started buying 50 caliber rifles. I mean, I guess correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure 50 caliber is like the big gun, is like the Rambo gun they uses at the end of Rambo 4, which they used to snipe special forces with. And someone actually got sniped, and that's what brought this all out, that someone got killed, and they were able to trace 3 of the firearms from the scene back to this program with, you know, oh, they were just using it to track people. Yeah, okay. And they just tell you anything you want to hear. They want to know where my shirt, I got my shirt right off of Amazon, even though Jeff Bezos is evil. But Amazon, I mean, you know, what are you going to take? $5 out of his pocket? The guy already rules the earth. You see the thing he was using the other day? It was like he was using the hands, where his hands were attached to huge claws, and he was actually using them for stuff. Literally, that is like literal evil villain stuff. Now we're getting to like Marvel movie evil villain territory. I don't know. But I guess I maybe wouldn't hate him as much if he didn't own the Washington Post, which is such a horrendous piece of garbage. But I just don't trust it, and I don't trust him. But I do trust you guys, and I'm really glad to do this, and I'm really happy to have you guys here with me. And please don't forget to sub my backup channels. This one I'm just trying to make a clone channel. So if you want to see cutting edge videos from 2019, I'm pretty much all the way done with 2018 now. This is my own personal backup channel, and this is a clips channel where I just put like random stuff. If anyone has any things you want me to clip out from a video, like little sections, people ask me that a lot. Let me know. I'll clip it out real fast and I'll put it on this channel. That's why I made this channel. So any requests are welcome. And of course, don't forget up here, it's a little off screen right now, but my BitChute is right off screen here, or my Patreon even $1 a month helps immensely. Pretty much, if you get a friggin' couple thousand people to $1 a month, I'd be set. But as it is right now, the people who do donate, and I have a PayPal link also in the description. You guys are keeping me afloat, and it's friggin' awesome. And you're letting me do this stuff with actually being able to do this full time, as opposed to the first year where I was working. And if you can look back, my videos aren't nearly as consistent or hashed out, or even you might say like, oh, well, it's still a video a week or 2 videos a week. Yeah, but these, I've had time to really go over them, get all my ducks in a row, and do so much more. I'm sure you've seen the up in content, and that's because of you guys. You guys have really helped me do that. So definitely, the Patreon is a huge help. If there's a link in the description, and that allows me to do what I can do, and even $1 a month is freaking awesome. And this is great, and I'm gonna be here every Wednesday doing this from 8 to 9. Or what do you guys think? 7 to 8 or 8 to 9? Is that up to me? I really like the 8 to 9. I can maybe try and push 7 to 8 if you guys would rather, but I think this is a good time slot. Any thoughts? I like this. I like this being able to engage the chat. Yeah, 8 to 9. Okay, 8 to 9 is what I was been thinking too. This is a lot of fun. 8:53, and then if I do it 8 to 9, then I won't ramble. Like I did one in the middle of the night the other night, because I was really I have been wanting to do this for a while, so I got my ducks back in a row with OBS, and I figured I'd try it. And next thing I know, I'm rambling for like 3 hours at 3 in the morning. It's just never good for anybody. Although people seem to enjoy it, but this is a lot of fun, and I've had a lot of fun with you guys. Mother says she likes the way I ramble. Well, thank you. We'll see. We'll see how long you guys like it for with a weekly show. Glenn O'Savin says the Bernays video was brilliant. Oh, thank you, man. I keep saying that I've been working on it since February, but I did kind of scrap it for a while. So I got a lot of my ducks in a row, and I started reading propaganda in February. But really, over the last 2 months, I really got a chance to really go through it and line everything up. And man, to me, it really ties into the start of everything. And they do it, and it's funny. I remember I was reading this book, and I have so much more highlighted than what I put in there than the passages I picked out. And it still felt like I think I have like 10 or 11 passages that I picked out to put in there. And just reading in every single one, you're like, oh, this is what they do with this, or this is how they sell this, or this is what they do with this product. And I don't know. It's cool. It makes a lot of sense. I think it really goes good with my World War II video. It's a little overlapping probably at the end of both of them, but I think they work well really together. And I think my next main project, I'm going to start once I finish the Zoso video tonight. So I was going to start that tomorrow. It'll probably take me a couple weeks to finish. And of course, I'll have things in between. But I think that one will be good too. And basically the name of the game is wake up as many people on the left to the crap there is anyway. And I know people say, oh, well, left, right, it's both sides. And, just because they've infiltrated the right, I still believe in a lot of their values. I know a lot of you guys do. And one of the main things is, and of course, like I said, a lot of it has been infiltrated. So there's not a lot of huge, great examples over the years from the higher ups in the Republican Party, like Mitt Romney and all these people, and McCain and stuff. But really, the general terms is less government, less taxes, less intrusion in everyone's life. And who cannot be for that? And, they call us alt-right, but obviously we're not. Alt-right is anarchists. That's complete anarchy, no control. We all run ourselves, and that's definitely not. It's funny, the alt-left are really the anarchists now, and they're beyond that. Forget about it. But I like the idea. I think our Constitution is sound. I think the idea of what our government should be is sound. It is so not that anymore. But in general, less government, less taxes, less intervention in people's lives, to me, is the way to go. And I don't see how the left has so many people voting otherwise for so long. You know, they say, oh, we're going to give you handouts. Yeah, but those handouts come with such a price. And they erode freedoms, keep eroding freedoms. And again, there's been, Republican leaders who have also eroded freedoms, which is against what Republican technically are supposed to be. And Ramble On would be a great opening tune. Yeah, I can definitely not shut up sometimes. But I'm glad you guys enjoy it. And I really enjoyed it. And I enjoyed this today. And I'll be happy to see you guys on Friday night for some more rambling. But hopefully with Craig rambling as well, so it doesn't seem as weird. And then I'll see you guys next week. But first, I will see you tomorrow with the exclusive interview with Zosa Dude 77, who toured the United States on his Harley, and that's going to be a real fun one. Like I said, I've been going through that last couple of days and really last night, and it was a fun interview, and I'm glad I did it, and it's going to be a good time. You should host mostly call Zoom conversations. Well, I'm setting up. I don't know about the Zoom per se, although I could possibly do that. But I just set up a Discord. Oh, that's right. Go into my information box, and after you click my Patreon, no, I'm just kidding. Click the Discord, join my Discord server, and eventually, I'm gonna try and set it up to where I could do call-ins and stuff, and that would be a cool, fun way to do the second half of the show. You'll be able to just go on the Discord, and we could get some call-ins and talk to you guys. The Zoom is cool too, but if the Discord could work, man, that would be the easiest way. So definitely, hey, someone just joined already. So definitely go join the Discord, and I will see you guys soon. I will talk to you guys soon, and I'll see you tomorrow night, and then I'll see you Friday night for the friggin' Friday night show. You guys take care.